Hi everybody, this is Naveen Joshua at GreenHonchos, a leading full-stack D2C commerce enabler. Today, I would like to deliver a 10-minute masterclass of the Profitability Playbook to scale your D2C brand. So what are the two biggest advantages of having your own D2C? One, limitless reach, and the second, accessibility to first-party data. However, there are challenges where low conversions plague e-commerce in terms of overall profitability. If you compare it with, let's say, the offline or the brick and mortar, 10% to even 30% conversions are possible there. However, when it comes to your web store, it's anywhere between 1 to 4% depending on the categories that you actually deal in. So there really are three parts to breaking down profitability if you look at the e-commerce journey or the landscape. One, the input funnel or marketing. The second, the web store itself, which is either your tech or your user experience. And last but not the least, your post-order management or the last mile. So let's take a deep dive into the first segment, marketing or digital or customer acquisition. So what do marketers have as their primary objective? ROAS, return on ad spend, which is commonly used in the e-commerce landscape because the ultimate purchase is a retail product. Can marketers influence net sale value or only gross sale value? Whether it's your Facebook dashboard or your Google dashboard or your Google Analytics, all your key indicators show GMV or gross, but the business teams are looking at NSV or net. So what lies in between there and how can a marketer actually impact it? So let's give you a couple of use cases. What about if a business told a marketing team that let's look at targeting your ads to locations that have lower returns or lower RTO. Location-based profiling is possible. What if a business team told the marketing team that what about customer-based profiling, customers that have a higher propensity to prepaid and lower propensity to returns? Possible? Yes. Difficult? Yes as well. With the overall unpredictable scenario of Facebook and Instagram ads in the last 2 to 3 months, as all marketers would know, much talked about in blogs and on LinkedIn, there have been attribution challenges after the iOS update. There's been unpredictable in the billing issues with the RBI guidelines that have made the key volume-based platform of Facebook and Instagram less predictable. One big issue, diversification of promotional challenges or actually channels. Use more email, use more affiliate, use more retargeting. These are all formats that can actually deliver a higher landed ROI for brands. Let's come to the other part of the marketing funnel, which is closer to the checkout process. One, add to cart, and the other, cart to conversion. What restricts a user who has some intent and has added to cart to move forward? What kinds of re-engagement, what kind of abandoned cart technologies can be used to increase that propensity to purchase? Are there any disqualifiers in terms of the exit intents with shipping charges, COD charges, or anything that could actually make the funnel a little distorted and eventually impact your profitability? So here's the portion where in the first part, marketing can play an important, impactful role in enhancing the journey towards profitability. So let's move forward to the second track here, which is technology. The all-important e-commerce website on which all users need to come in, experience, and transact forward. What are the metrics here that can really impact profitability? One of them could be your bounce rates, the other could be your core web vitals. Let me take a minute to explain them to you. So let's say your new customer acquisition is typically the bulk of your traffic or visitors. In general, a website shouldn't have more than 30% or worst case 40% of bounce rate, which also means that that percentage actually doesn't get the opportunity to further transact or convert into a transaction. It's critical for tech to be an enabler to keep this leakage to as low as possible. So therefore, the server response load time as well as the website application load time. The website should be visibly loaded in under 4 seconds. Now you can check that back with a quick litmus test at your end, whether your businesses are delivering that experience or not for its customers. Sometimes it may be worth compromising a bit on the design element to try and keep your homepage below 2 MB to ensure that your bounce rate trade-off is really worth it. So let's get back to core web vitals. So Google's overall page and site evaluation experience is now governed under load time, interactivity, and stability. So almost all these tools try and govern or rate or measure the UX on certain guidelines like page speed index, core web vitals, and other such tools, so that there is some indication for their algorithm to be able to rate as well as serve ads either cheaper or costlier, which comes back to profitability. Certainly, having a good progressive web app or a PWA and a fully responsive e-commerce site is absolutely critical to the result. So we've covered the first 2 tracks now. One is marketing, one is technology. Last but not the least, post-order management. So which area are we referring to here? So once the customer comes in, navigates through the website, makes a clear intent, proceeds with his purchase, and then gets an order confirmed. What happens next in e-commerce? Let's talk about typically returnable categories which have the highest number of transactions: apparel, footwear, accessories, etc. The gross to net drip is in excess of 30%. That's true for marketplaces as well, apart from your own D2C initiative. However, brands have the opportunity to control that. There is marketing dollars going at the top of the funnel. They can control it. As we discussed, there is the website that can make a difference. That's controllable too. In this case, you have access to data as well as customer insights. How can a business keep this leakage to as low as 20%? Brands are doing it. Clients are doing it. Which are the 3 portions here? Post-order cancellation at source. That cancellation could also be at the customer end. Then there are 2 types of returns. One is return to origin without a customer accepting it, and then there is customer returns. A mix of all of these. So there's a lot of technology come into place, a lot of new age startups that are trying to really play a value addition here and saying, okay, we'll reduce this part by, let's say, X%. So when cancellations at source are high due to certain fraud detection or algorithms being used, the RTO is supposed to be lower. So a mix of this could be, let's say, under 5% cancellation at source, could end up in a RTO of about 15%, and let's say customer returns of under 5%. A summation of this should be able to control it within 20 to 25%. So what should brands do to ensure that the tenets are within these metrics? Another very important part of this is the huge variable of the cost of logistics or shipping charges, which is volumetric based. And the more the return, the more the RTO, that again is an absolute variable. So the 3 or 4 metrics that we would advise is very closely looking at the dispatch SLA, the time it takes from an order to be confirmed till the time a dispatch notification goes out to the customer. Second, the delivery SLA itself, which includes the logistics to the consumer. And third, it's a small one but an extremely critical one, because the D2C site is based on repeat customer experience, and it's the refund SLA. Whether it's an exchange or a refund, how fast you settle that. We talk about the quality of experience because they are huge metrics in ensuring profitability in the long-term value of the consumer. So I've now taken you through all the 3 parts of the customer journey and the business journey that impact profitability, and that's the playbook we want to talk about here. So in conclusion, leading marketplaces have set very high standards of customer experience. We talked about the input funnel, we talked about the tech and massive investments that have been done just to improve that UX and the customer navigation. And we also spoke about how the post-order journey is a true winner when you talk about, let's say, an Amazon or a Myntra. The detailed information that goes out as self-service is a great example of what D2C brands can emulate to really hook the customer on to their own D2C. D2C really has an opportunity to engage and nurture their relationships with their customer, because they can really storytell and build the narrative which really contributes towards loyalty, which so far really has been non-existent, especially in the online context. So that's the real golden goose that D2C brands are looking to go after, with an omni-channel form of communication, an omni-channel strategy of marketing, and really hitting all touch points that consumers can keep coming back and transacting with regular repeat cohorts of purchase. Last but not the least, in conclusion, there is no doubt in retail, whether it's online or offline, that profitability lies in the customer continuously coming back for purchase experiences to the brand and enhancing their customer lifetime value. So I hope this quick masterclass can serve as a good cheat sheet for you to check back if anything's in line, anything's out of line, any course correction required. I'll be happy to be connected via LinkedIn or any other such forums if you need a further deep dive into any of these areas. Thanks. Had a great time adding value to this forum. Thank you.